Holy crap! This is worse than the time I saw Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Alright, so last night I saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and I just got a lot to say about it, so I figured that I'd share my thoughts here. I went with a couple of my friends, and of course I wore my finest suit. I mean, this was an event. I've been waiting for this movie since it was announced in, like, 2015. I always just thought that the subject matter and the story for the game was just really intriguing, and that it could fit really well in a cinematic format. But did the Fnaf movie do a good job at this? Nope. Okay, that's not entirely true. I have very mixed opinions on this movie, and I think that the best way to go over them would be in a pros and cons list. And just so you guys know, I am going to be going into spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, I would still recommend that you do. Even if it's not the greatest movie in my opinion, I think there's enough stuff here for FNAF fans that you're going to get something out of it no matter what. Okay, but we are starting now, so leave! Anyway, let's start with one of the pros. I think one of the things that this movie does really well is translating Freddy Fazbear's Pizza into live action. I think that the set is really well made, and you can tell a lot of care was put into it. And of course, the animatronics look really good. You know, other than Springtrap. Yeah, I thought his design was really bad. I get that he's not supposed to be all rotten yet, but I still think they probably could have come up with something better than that. And as for pro number 2, Matt Pat! He said the thing, he said, and this concludes the pros. Kidding. But one overall con I think I should talk about is just the atmosphere of the movie. When I'm playing the game and I'm looking at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, I'm thinking, wow, this is like a pretty twisted place. Like, I would not want to be here, spend the night here. And when I look at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in the movie, all I'm thinking is, wow, they did a good job at making it look real. That's why I think things like the fan-made VHS tapes or just the games did a really good job at just making you tense. It was through the sound design and just like that overall feeling of being alone in this abandoned place. And I feel like in the movie, they're always either yapping or something's going on, and we never get a moment to just linger in the atmosphere. As for a pro, I really like Mike's character. I think they did a really good job at not making him boring and just have something that the audience can latch on to. Because Mike's character in the games is pretty much just... But no, I think they did a good job at making him interesting, just a really good protagonist for this kind of movie. Con? Abby. I hate Abby! I hate Abby! Okay, I don't hate Abby. I just really don't like the stuff with her and the animatronics. I don't think it's that bad that she can, like, talk to them, but what I definitely think is bad is Mike just being like, yeah, okay, go have fun, Abby. Come on, Faz Gang, let's all go build a fort. Can't wait to meet you. No joke, when Abby pulled that picture out, I leaned over to my friend and it was like, yeah, no shot. What if they actually did a fort building montage? And sure enough... And a few more bullet points I wanted to hit on about Abby and the animatronics. First of all, like, they never explained why Abby knows these kids. She's just like, yeah, Freddy Fazbear, Chica the Chicken, Foxy the Pirate, yeah, they're OGs, man. They've been there since day one. And the other thought I had was, there is no shot that Mike is just giving Abby away to these kids. Like, throughout the whole movie, his #1 goal was just keeping Abby safe. And then he's just like, yeah, sure, you can have her. If anyone disagrees with me, please feel free to talk in the comments, because I just have no idea where that came from. And then another thing I wanted to touch on was the lore changes from the game to the movie. Obviously, the biggest one being that Michael is not William's son, or at least as far as we know. And I feel like that change actually removes a lot of the meaning from the story. It partially explains why William does some of the things he does, and it also just takes away from that engaging father-son relationship. Obviously, it would have been really hard to adapt this into a movie format, but I still think they could have found a way to make it work. And hey, maybe they still will. They might be saving that twist for the sequel, which I think is already greenlit. Oops, sorry! Anyway, I just have a few more comments I wanted to say before I ended the video. First of all, yeah, the movie's not scary at all. I was probably more scared of Five Nights at Freddy's going into this than I was coming out. I know that most people knew going into this movie that it wasn't going to be very scary. It's just kind of disappointing that the scariest thing about this movie is its audience. And the other thing I wanted to comment on was the Springlock scene. I thought it was really cool that they included it, but my one gripe with it is that William is not, like, screaming in agony. He's essentially getting every bone in his body crushed, and he's just like, ouch. As for a rating on this, I feel like it's kind of a 2-star movie, but there is enough good stuff in it that it makes me bump it up to a 3. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to say is that I thought it was dope that they did the Living Tombstone song. Like, that song is just so iconic that they had to include it. What I was hoping they would do, though, is create a reprise of it specifically for the movie. Just something more theatrical and orchestral, like this Handful Jake cover. I'm glad they included it, but the whiplash from that ending scene to the end credits was just really funny. You can't zoom out on a shot of someone dying and then play and not expect me to laugh. To finish off this video, I created an alternate cut to the ending where instead of using the original song, I went with the Handful Jake cover. And it's not perfect, but I still think it does a great job at including the fan service while also fitting the tone of the ending. Enjoy, and thanks for watching.
But hey, that's just a theory. Cutaway Gags theory. Sweet dreams.